Bonjour à tous et à toutes et bienvenue. Welcome to another live workshop. It is Wednesday, on est mercredi aujourd'hui et nous allons pratiquer nos traductions aujourd'hui parce que traduire c'est très important pour tous ceux qui apprennent une langue. We are going to be practicing our translation skills today in this workshop. If you don't know me, my name is Mark. I am the founder of Coffee Break French and indeed one of the hosts of our show. And over the next 20 minutes or so, the time for a coffee break, I've got my coffee here. So over the time of a coffee break, we're going to be doing a little bit of learning. And the whole idea of this is to help you realize that learning a little bit every day goes a long way, because it's all about just sticking with it and doing a little bit of learning every day and making progress towards your goal of being able to communicate effectively in French. Now, it is great to have you here. It's great to have viewers on YouTube and on Facebook. And I would like to say hello to some of you. So, nous avons déjà Paula. Bonjour Paula de Turkey. Très bien. Michael de Seattle. Vous êtes le bienvenu. Karen is from just outside Washington. Très bien, merci. Amit is from Israel and joining us again. And David is joining us from Memphis, Tennessee today. Très, très, très bien. Now, we are going to be doing a little bit of translation, and we're going to be joined by Max today, one of our Coffee Break Club team members. And Max is going to be helping us do a little bit of practice with our translation skills. And over the course of this lesson, what I'd like you to really focus on is what you know already, what you kind of half know, and what's totally new to you. Because as we focus on these different elements, it helps us identify what we know already and where we're going in our next steps. So, what I think we should do is just check that everything is working. So let's check that the slides are working. We have indeed got some slides here. So these slides are, or the whole idea of this is it's a week that's helping you spring forward with your language learning, with your French learning. 4 days and 4 live workshops. So this is the third live workshop. We've done a workshop yesterday and the day before. And in each of these, we're helping you practice your language skills with some varied activities and getting a feel for what the club is all about. Now, on Monday, no, that was yesterday, we discovered the world. So yesterday we were doing a reading text called S'amuser dans le futur, about a future-themed theme park in France. And the day before, on Monday, we were guessing the mystery location with Pierre Benoit. As-tu deviné où je suis? Have you guessed where I am? Now, if you've not yet seen these, then you can go to coffeebreaklanguages.com/springforward, and you can access all the links there, or indeed you'll be able to find them on our Facebook page or indeed on our YouTube channels. So you can check out the lessons that you might already have missed. Now, all of this is part of our Coffee Break Club. Today, we're going to be testing our translation skills, as I said. And as I said, all of this is part of the Coffee Break Club. And the club is a program that we've put together to help you take your learning to the next level. The idea being that you are able to do a little bit of learning every day, and you don't need to think, what is it I'm going to do today? Because it's there for you. You can simply decide what you want to work on. So perhaps you want to work on some reading skills, some translation skills. Perhaps you want to do a little bit of reading, finding out something about the world, or indeed doing a little bit of grammar focus. Whatever you want to do, we have a video lesson for you in the club. And the idea of this came from this whole idea of, we want to learn something. So perhaps we could find a video on YouTube. So you go on YouTube and you look for a video about French verbs or something like that, or practicing the perfect tense or something like that. And you search for a video and you may well find a video. Sorry, I've got something in my eye. You may well find a video that suits you to help you practice your French about French verbs or whatever it happens to be. But then, of course, there's all that stuff down the right-hand side on YouTube, and it's distracting, and you think, oh, there's a video about some other thing that I would like to learn about, or would like to find out about, or would simply like to watch for a little bit of entertainment. So YouTube's great, but there is so much stuff on YouTube, and sometimes it's difficult to focus and to keep focused on what you want to learn. So we started thinking about ways in which we could change that video experience, the same experience that we have with our entertainment video sites, so Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and so on, all of the video streaming platforms. We wanted to see if we could take that same experience and convert it into a learning idea. And in fact, it's similar in a sense to the kind of fitness ideas where we've got Apple Fitness Plus or Peloton, where you've got lessons on kickboxing or cycling or rowing or meditation or whatever you want to be practicing to get fit. We wanted to convert that into the idea of being able to do exactly the same thing, the same idea, but for language learning. So the club, in a sense, is like Netflix for language learning or Apple Fitness for language learning. It's an on-demand library of video lessons, hundreds of video lessons where you can learn with expert teachers using varied activities, and you can do so on our web platform, Coffee Break TV, and the Coffee Break TV app. I'll tell you a little more about the club after our lesson, because it's time to get into that lesson now. We're going to be joined by Max, as I said, and we're going to be doing a little bit of translation. Now, if you've got any questions at any point, please do post them in the chat, and we can go through your questions after the lesson. But for now, I'm going to leave you in the hands of Max. Donc, à toi, Max. Merci.
Bonjour, bienvenue au club. Welcome back to the Coffee Break French Club. Moi, c'est Max, and today's video is a translation challenge. I have sentences for you in English that you will have to translate into French. For each sentence, you will have 10 seconds, but feel free to pause the video if you need more time. So if you're ready, grab a piece of pen and paper or open your notes app if you prefer, et c'est parti! La première phrase. Here is the first sentence. If I had a car, I would never take the bus. 10 secondes. Terminé. Si j'avais une voiture, je ne prendrais jamais le bus. So here we have a structure with the first half of the sentence starting with si, introducing the condition, followed by the imperfect. Si j'avais, if I had. Si j'avais une voiture, and then the second half of the sentence would be in conditional. I would never, je ne prendrais jamais le bus. Excellent. Si j'avais une voiture, je ne prendrais jamais le bus. Now let's move on to the second sentence. My sister lost her phone at the concert. 10 secondes. Les 10 secondes sont terminées. My sister lost her phone at the concert. Ma sœur a perdu son téléphone or son portable au concert. Ma sœur, ma because sister is feminine, a perdu. Here we have a perfect tense from the verb perdre. A perdu. Son téléphone or son portable. You could also say son téléphone portable. Au concert, at the concert. Concert is masculine. This is why we have au, the combination of a and le together. Excellent. Troisième phrase pour vous. This cloud in the sky looks like a key. 10 secondes. Terminé. This cloud in the sky looks like a key. Ce nuage dans le ciel ressemble à une clé. Ce nuage. Nuage is masculine singular. This is why we have ce to say this and not cette, which would be for feminine. Ce nuage. Dans le ciel, in the sky. Ressemble à une clé. To look like something in French is ressembler à. We need the preposition à. Ressemble à une clé. And you will see there are two different spellings. The first one with the accent is more modern, more common now. without the accent and the extra F is a bit more old-fashioned, but still preferred in music, for example, when we talk about music keys. Une clé, exact same pronunciation. Et dernière phrase, 2 days ago, I read an interesting article in the newspaper. 10 secondes. C'est fini. 2 days ago, I read an interesting article in the newspaper. Il y a 2 jours, or avant-hier, j'ai lu un article intéressant dans le journal. Il y a 2 jours. To say ago, we start with il y a, which translates to ago, and then the time duration. Il y a 2 jours, il y a une semaine, il y a 5 ans, etc. But for 2 days ago, we can also say avant-hier. Literally means before yesterday. With the same pattern, you could say après-demain for 2 days from now. Very common. J'ai lu. Here we have the perfect tense. The infinitive to read is lire, and the past participle is lu. J'ai lu. Un article intéressant, masculine, dans le journal. Il y a 2 jours, or avant-hier, j'ai lu un article intéressant dans le journal. Très bien. Merci beaucoup pour cette vidéo de défi de traduction. More resources like this one in the club. I'm Max, and I look forward to seeing you again soon for another video from the Coffee Break French Club. In the meantime, happy coffee breaking!
Merci beaucoup, Max. Oh, thank you very much. So, literally, we spent 5 minutes working on some translation challenges there. What did you think? Were the sentences easy to translate? Were you able to get the right translations in your head? Perhaps you were taking some notes with a pen and a piece of paper, or a piece of pen and a paper, like Mike said. But perhaps you were trying to do it all in your head. Either way, you're working on your French and you're just spending 5 minutes doing so. But my question to you is, what was there in that video that either A, you didn't know, or B, you kind of knew but you'd sort of forgotten, or C, you knew and it was consolidation for you? So what are the new things for you? What were the things you'd kind of forgotten, and what were the things that you already knew? Let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear what you thought of the video. There were a couple of things that I picked up. First of all, the pronunciation of that word nuage. I think it's a tricky word to pronounce. Let me put it on the screen here. I'm just going to take this off. Oops. There we go. Nuage. Okay, so there is that word there. And I remember Pierre Benoit telling me, Mark, you're pronouncing this wrongly, because I was saying nuage, but of course it's not nuage, it's nuage, because the U there is a U without an O, so it's not like the word ou, which is a very rounded U, but I used to say nuage, but of course it's nuage, so a U sound before you go into the A, nuage. The other thing that I picked up on was ressembler à quelque chose, or indeed à quelqu'un, to resemble someone, to look like someone or something, in the case of the clouds, which looked like a key. And did you pick up those words for key? We had clé, C-L-E acute, and then clé, C-L-E-F, with a silent F at the end. As Max said, that one's used nowadays more for musical keys. We also had a nice word, avant-hier, avant-hier, which is the day before yesterday, literally before yesterday. So we could equally have said il y a 2 jours, 2 days ago, but I think avant-hier is quite nice. Let me just put that phrase up, il y a 2 jours. That's quite big. Let's put it down here. So, il y a 2 jours, 2 days ago. Il y a means there is, or there are. Il y a un château dans la ville. There's a castle in the town. But when we use it with time phrases, then we can mean ago. So, il y a 2 jours, 2 days ago. Il y a 3 heures, 3 hours ago. Il y a 5 minutes, 5 minutes ago. So, it's a really useful phrase to use in many situations. Il y a. Voilà. So, those were just some of the words I picked up on. Let's see what you picked up on here. Paula saying, I surprised myself, I just got looked like wrong. I used à l'air de. Actually, you could use à l'air de. To be honest, à l'air de is really more used for people. Il a l'air fatigué. He looks tired or something like that. But I'm sure you would be understood if you had talked about the clouds having the air de d'une clé. Christine Moore says, this was a very helpful few minutes. That's the thing. You can do a lot of learning in just 5 minutes. Karen saying, I like the reminder to use the conditional in the first sentence. Si j'avais une voiture, je prendrais le bus. Also good to be reminded that you need a after ressembler. Très, très bien. Merci beaucoup, Karen. So, yes, that is a nice balanced sentence. Si j'avais une voiture, if I had a car, or si j'avais une voiture, je prendrais. I can't remember what the sentence was. Si je n'avais pas une voiture, je prendrais le bus. I would take the bus or something like that. But it's good to balance the imperfect with the conditional for one of our conditional combinations. Michael said, je savais, mais j'ai oublié ressembler à. Très bien. Hollywood Cole also using the word ressembler. Amit saying, je ne connais pas les mots avant-hier et clé. Très, très bien. And Janet Brown's asking, is there a future version of il y a 2 jours? That's a very good question. Could we say il y aura 2 jours? That sounds a little bit funny. What I would say is in 2 days' time, dans 2 jours, dans 2 jours. And dans is quite tricky when it comes to time. So when we're talking about in 2 days' time, dans 2 jours, nous serons au Portugal. In 2 days, we'll be in Portugal. In 2 days' time, we'll be in Portugal. So fantastic. So glad to know that so many of you had little moments of usefulness in those 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes that we spent on that, and the 5 minutes, every 5 minutes that you spend on your learning is useful. Let me tell you a little more about the club, because that's the club is built around this idea of taking a little bit of time every day to do some learning. And that's exactly what we've got in the club. We've got hundreds of videos in French, German, Spanish and Italian. So let's go into our French videos here, and you can see there are more translation challenge videos. My internet's a little bit slow today, I apologize for that. We've got more translation challenges, we've got reading text, we've got vocabulary videos, we have our As-tu deviné où je suis, the guessing the mystery location. We've got discovery videos like the one we did yesterday, and this one, des pommes de terre en quarantaine, un lac sidéral, un symbole national légendaire, and so on. And you'll notice that this one's greyed out because I've already watched it, so you know which videos you've watched and which videos you've still to watch on the club. And you can also search for videos. For example, if you want to see all the 5 to 10 minute videos, it can filter down to all of those ones. I'll just go back to all there. And if you wanted to see, let's do some translation challenge videos, because we like this idea of spending 5 minutes on translation challenges. You can see all of these translation challenges are waiting for you in the club, ready for you to practice your French. So the idea of the club is this on-demand library of video lessons. And the club is, there's a monthly fee for the club. So for the monthly fee, it's $19.99 per month. We sell the club in dollars because the platform that we use is US based and we can only have one currency on there, unfortunately. But that is roughly about £15, £16 in the UK at the moment. However, there's 30% off your first month. So if you were to stick around for a year, the total payment for the year would be $234. However, you can sign up for a month, you can cancel, and you will not be charged anymore. So you're only, you can cancel at any time, you can sign up for a month and just try a month of it. If you prefer, there's a quarterly option, and that's $44.99. With 30% off against the first quarter on the first quarter. So if you wanted to sign up for the first year, then that would be one payment of 30% off $44.99. Don't ask me what that is. and then the remaining payments of $44.99, making a total of $166 in the year. So you've really made a saving there with the quarterly payments. However, just yesterday, we have introduced a yearly rate, and that is $199.99 for the year. And there's 30% off that, which means that for $140 in your first year, you are accessing this huge library of video content, and we're adding new content all the time. So that is undoubtedly the best value there, $199 for your first year. Sorry, $140 for your first year. Jacqueline's asking, how frequently are videos added to the Coffee Break French Club? Well, if we go back here, I can confirm that this video here, making comparisons, was just added yesterday. So we're adding videos all the time to the club, several videos a week, and that will be updated even if you've worked your way all the way through all of the existing videos. We'll continue to add new videos and new types of content all the time. And the videos in the club are mainly aimed at this kind of intermediate level, so sort of high A to B1, some into B2 level. And there's a variety of types of videos in there that will help you. Perhaps it would be useful to hear a couple of comments from members of the existing club. So one of our club members has said, the club makes learning fun. I feel like I'm learning with friends and I feel part of a community. We've actually just done a survey with lots of our club members. So these are some of the comments that they've shared in this survey. And here's another comment. The Coffee Break method of dedicating just a few minutes a day to language instead of big blocks of time has been life-changing and so accessible to me. The Coffee Break TV app helps me get more learning than I otherwise would. My goal is to use it daily so that I can get a good balance between grammar, vocabulary, and other fun videos. And that's exactly it. You can swap around what you're doing in each day. You can do grammar one day, then some vocabulary building the next day. And it's all about turning up and doing a little bit of learning. I use various apps. I use particularly Duolingo for my Norwegian learning, and I try to get it done every single day. And I just turn up every day, do a little bit of learning. However, I have to say that I would prefer a video lesson because I would like to learn with a teacher, with an expert who's able to, in a sense, preempt my questions and preempt my misunderstandings and therefore explain that rather than just be using a game and an app. Now, the Coffee Break Club is available on our website, on coffeebreaktv.com, and it's also available within the Coffee Break TV app, which is available for iOS and Android. And there's also a version for Apple TV and Roku if you have a Roku or an Apple TV set-top box. So you can use that at your leisure. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to save 30% on your first month, quarter, or year at the Coffee Break Club, and that is coffeebreaktv.com. And all you need to do is use the SPRING30 coupon code, and that will get you your 30% off. Paula is saying, what I need most is some French conversation. Is there any chance that this will be introduced in the future? Yes, we are working on a conversation bootcamp, which we'll be releasing in a few months' time. But that's something slightly different because it will be conversation classes in small groups. It's not at the time that it suits you necessarily. So with the club, you can access all of this content where and when it suits you on our web platform or our app. Now, today we've been doing some translation challenges. That is an example of a translation challenge from the club. And of course, there are these three options. I'll just take that one out there so that you can see this. $19.99 a month with 30% off your first month, $44.99 a quarter with 30% off, and $199.99 for a year with, again, 30% off. So it's the best value option, taking $140 in the first year for access to hundreds of videos that you can plan your learning day by day and decide what you want to learn with us. Tomorrow, we'll be back, pressing the right button. There we go. Tomorrow, we're going to be building our understanding of grammar, and that's happening at 10 o'clock UK time. I think it's 10 o'clock. Yes, it's 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, UK time. But what I should say is that this special code, SPRING30, will be running out on Sunday night. So if you've not purchased the club before Sunday, it will go back up to the normal price. And that's why we're doing this special spring forward promotion this week. Janet is asking, so conversation classes won't be part of the club? No, that will be something different. The club is our video, on-demand video library. The conversation classes will take another form. There'll be a separate course, just like our seasons are separate courses in the academy. The club is separate. It's on Coffee Break TV, and it is our on-demand video library, kind of Netflix for language learners, if that makes sense. I am just going to get ready for our next live, which is at 4:30 UK time. So that is on YouTube and on the Coffee Break German Facebook page. So I'm going to have to leave you now. I hope that this has been useful. Most of all, I hope that you've learned something today. And just spending those 5 minutes doing a little bit of learning, hopefully, has made a lot of difference. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for joining me today. Et happy coffee breaking comme d'habitude. Allez, salut, au revoir.